In November of 2016, Donald J. Trump was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. Despite losing the popular vote, he managed to win 304 of the 538 total electoral votes. 8 years later, he was elected for his second term, and while he brought a monsoon of controversies to the table, possibly the most heated and most protested of these controversies is the unlawful deportation of documented immigrants. In June of 2025, the Department of Homeland Security under the Trump administration directed beneficiaries of the humanitarian parole pathway from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to self-deport, affecting over 500,000 immigrants who lawfully entered the United States. This order and much more resulted in nationwide protests deemed the No Kings rallies.
Today, organizers say at least 7 million Americans took to the streets protesting what many called an abuse of power by President Trump. House Speaker Mike Johnson called it, quote, the Hate America rally. Here in New York City, police say 100,000 people turned out at multiple marches. They report no arrests. There were more than 2,600 events from coast to coast. They are all part of the No Kings movement, which accuses the president of behaving more like a monarch than an elected official.
From coast to coast, citizens gather to fight for the protection of civil rights and the safety of those who are accused of ruining the country by many, despite being less likely to commit crimes compared to U.S.-born citizens, as well as providing heavily to the economy. Possibly the most notable example of unlawful deportation of documented citizens is that of Kilmer Garcia. Kilmer Abreu Garcia was illegally deported by the Trump administration on March 15th of 2025 under non-evidence-based claims he was part of the MS-13 terrorist organization. Despite having never been charged or convicted of a crime, Garcia was imprisoned in the Salvadorian Terrorism Confinement Center located in El Salvador. In June, Garcia was returned to the United States, and the situation was deemed an administrative error. In reality, it was the unlawful deportation of a documented U.S. citizen. Though recent developments have suggested the possibility of ties to criminal activity, the actions of the Trump administration deliberately went against court orders for Garcia to stay in the country. But why am I bringing this up in a teaching course? Well, it's because these kinds of situations have large effects on a child's ability to effectively and properly learn and interact with both our education systems and other children. How are kids supposed to effectively learn and develop if they live in fear of losing those they love despite the fact that they have done absolutely nothing wrong? How are kids supposed to function when homes are being burst into and people are being deported without due process? Though the 1982 court resolution of Plyer v. Doe resulted in the constitutional guarantee that states cannot deny undocumented children access to free public education, the current presidential administration's threatening of the stability of said constitution makes it impossible to say for sure what will unfold in the near future. According to a YLE news article, a study found that 46% of children with immigrant backgrounds experienced bullying from other students in their own classrooms. This, and the growing presence of ICE detainment and deportation, leads to children feeling very uncertain and sometimes unsafe in schools.
What do you think about when you're in school?
That they can come again to school, and this time they will be able to enter and they will take us, she said.